The first one you said was Rashid Shaheed.
Mm-hmm.
If they even line him up in the backfield
Yeah.
because of the injury to Charbonnet, and they give him like 3 or 4 touches from there, running little
Yeah.
wheel routes out of there to throw the defense into like, whoa, we weren't expecting that. And then you obviously the special teams. I will admit that if Shaheed makes a play, if he scores a touchdown, I think Seattle would win, especially if it's special teams. If
Yeah.
Shaheed gets some kind of 40 or 50-yard play, that might be enough to swing in favor of Seattle, because that's how close I would pick this game to be. And then you just said the crowd. If the crowd is so loud that Stafford cannot audible and protection of his line to prepare for
Mm-hmm.
a Seattle pass rush, if it's so loud that their communication is difficult and that maybe causes something to happen, Rams, I guess maybe they don't really have one. If I was going to pick one, I would say, again, the way they run the ball, they have 2 guys they can give the ball to. That would probably be my X factor for the Rams. And, Cam Curl has been watching all the deep balls and getting all the picks here this season. If we're looking at quarterbacks, Sam Darnold is far more likely to turn the ball over. And at the end of the day, these playoff games are decided by turnovers a lot of times. So I look at that and I say, who's the more likely to turn it over? Cam Curl has been ball hawking, so I'm like, I think it's going to happen. I think Darnold's going to maybe have an interception that could swing the tide in a bad way, in a bad moment. It could be the deciding interception. We've seen Darnold lose the game on picks a couple times this year. So I can't forget that. And as good as he's played, I don't think Stafford will do that unless Seattle just forces it upon them, their sheer will on defense. So it's going to be damn close. I'm usually looking for who's got the better quarterback. And if I'm not picking the better quarterback, then they must have better skill players. Seattle doesn't. That's my issue. They don't have better receivers unless Shaheed blows up. They don't have a better running game.
No.
So that's
Well,
where I'm like, their offense is just not as good. So that's where I'm stuck. I like the Rams.
yeah, and I get that. I mean, I would give the Rams probably the edge just because their backfield is healthy. I mean,
Yes.
strictly because both of their running backs are healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen Seattle survive multiple turnovers. We've seen them still win games decisively.
Yes,
and
that's true.
Be inside of games that they had no deal being in. Sam Darnold has 4 turnovers and they still have a chance to win the game on the last play of the game. It's like it's going to come with it. It just depends on. I trust Seattle's defense more to clean that shit up than I do the Rams defense. The Rams defense has just not been as stellar as they were earlier this season in the playoffs. Their defense has been vulnerable at times.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, you're right. Curl's been a monster, and he's been getting some picks and some batted balls, and he's been playing very, very well. But that front 4 has not been as stout as they were this year. Even the linebacking core.
I will point out one thing. I like Landman as an overall linebacker at for tackles. He usually finds the tackle on anything going on near him. I don't know if I really feel Seattle has the same exact kind of guy. And both teams finished with 47 sacks. So for as much as we think Seattle's better, they are exactly the same when it comes to the sack statistics. So I will point that out. We see it with our eyes, the pressures, the Leonard Williams, we see it. Guess what? Bryant Young was amazing, and the sack totals are exactly the same. So that tells you that the Rams are sneaky good, and that it's maybe even closer on the front line than we really think.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm not necessarily talking sack totals either. It's just how they control the line, how they control the running lanes, and how they block up all that stuff, and how they can collapse the pocket really quick on you. Make Matt Stafford throw it before he wants to, or get your hands up and bat them balls down. Leonard Williams is really good at that. And don't forget Dexter Lawrence there too, man. He's been brought back to life per se this year. Just all of them being monsters, and I like I said, I just trust Seattle's. I think Seattle's defensive group is the best group on both sides that's going to be on the field this weekend.